On Sunday, the biggest game of the day on Sunday, which I don't know if we necessarily expected this to be a massive game, but it turns out that it is Illinois taking on the Iowa Hawkeyes. That game is going to be played in Iowa City. Chance for a bounce back for the Hawkeyes, who went on the road on Tuesday and lost to Minnesota. Um, really interesting kind of battle of styles here, right? Like Illinois wants to play a little more pace and space, and they're dealing with these big guys that want to pick and pop, and Iowa's been a team that kind of wings it, believe it or not, with their defense. They're really good at forcing turnovers. They're really good at running you off the 3-point line. And they do all of that and then just kind of say, hey, we got Bennett Sturts and you don't have Bennett Sturts. What do you make of this matchup right now? Ken Palm, obviously, we're recording this on a Friday, so we don't have the full lines yet. But Ken Palm more or less has this as a pick 'em. Iowa is a 1-point underdog, but this is more or less the coin flip being played in Iowa City. Can Illinois get it done?
Yeah, I mean they can. They've won four in a row, but look at who they've beaten, right? I
Yep.
mean, it's not exactly the who's who of college basketball.
Put some respect on Missouri's name.
No,
They beat
Missouri's
Missouri
been
by
good
they
lately.
beat Missouri by a million.
Missouri's been good. I think what stood out to me is even though they haven't played this great competition because they've beaten Southern, Penn State, and Rutgers in the last three, their defense has been really good,
Mhm.
and that's the key. They're going to have to find a way against Iowa to can they get out and run a little bit? It's going to be hard. That's just not how Iowa allows you to play, right? As you said, the pace of Iowa, Bennett Sturts is going to control the game. You can't you can't go after Bennett Sturts. You can't really pressure him. Doesn't work. Um, I think Keaton Wagler's been incredible this year. Probably, I don't know, has there been a freshman that has come out of nowhere this season like Wagler, like and done what he's done?
I
Has there
don't
been
think I
anybody?
don't think there's been a freshman that has come out of nowhere like Wagler in decades. There are no surprises anymore. Like people don't come from under the radar and
Yeah,
turn themselves into lottery picks like this because
crazy.
all anybody wants is exposure at every level, no matter where you are. There, I got 10-year-olds that I'm dealing with right now that are like, yeah, we got to get some exposure so we can get in the top AU. No, man, that's not how it works. Like
It's a great
people,
matchup,
yeah.
though. I mean, I love right now how Boswell and Wagler complement one another.
Yes.
Like I love the front court. I still got some issues with. I'm still not quite sold on Illinois up front,
You know who
but
else has issues with that?
who?
Brad Underwood, I'm assuming.
Yeah, of course he does. How can you not? How can you not right now? You're trying to figure this. That's the problem I have with Illinois. I don't think they figured out their roles. And I don't think Brad has figured out again his team, which makes sense because he brought in a bunch of new guys that came over that are going to take some time to Merkovich to figure this thing out. We thought he was a guy who set the world on fire right away, and we thought he would continue to do that. And obviously, defensively, he's been a little bit of a mess here over the last month or so. Iowa, you know where I stand on Bennett Sturts. I don't have to tell you or anybody. I mean, he's as good as any point guard in the country. I just don't know if he's got enough around him, Rob. And I think, again, to me, they were better. They've been better the last couple of games, the others. But I think Bennett Sturts sometimes is too much of a team guy. I think he becomes too much of a team guy. In the crunch time of that Minnesota game, last couple possessions before that scramble at the end where he missed the three at the very end of the game. But he needs the ball in his hands and he needs to be a little bit more selfish and say like, hey, you know what? Give me the ball. I'm gonna win this game for us. Or you know what? It's on me. If we lose, at least it's on me. Instead of giving the ball to somebody else and letting them make a play. I just that's something, hey man, you're a lottery pick. You're one of the best players in the country. Act like it.
Yeah. The interesting matchup, you mentioned the front court. That's where I think this match was going to get really interesting, because Iowa is not the biggest team in
No.
the world, and there is a lot of size on Illinois.
Yeah.
But the thing about them is that it's all like pick and pop size, right? Like you're not throwing the ball inside to Tommy Evans. You're definitely not throwing the ball inside to Big Z. Mirkovic, a little bit, you can kind of get him into these post ups, but I mean, he's been just okay doing that. So that'll be kind of interesting. I think I think Iowa gets this done at home. Like this,
Ooh,
just like you're coming
it'd
off of
be
a
a big
loss.
one. They
You're
need
coming,
it.
yeah, you're coming off a loss
Yeah.
to Minnesota, right? Now, I think the interesting part about this is Kai Boswell is as good of a defender as you're going to find, and I think they just throw him on Bennett Sturts and say, give him hell, make life
Bennett.
miserable. Bennett might be good enough to be able to win that matchup, but that will be a little bit of the X factor there. But I think Iowa coming home on a Sunday, in a state where Iowa basketball is the most important thing right now, I think that Iowa finds a way to be able to get this done.
The key for me is Alvaro Folgueras. He had been really good in like a 4 or 5 game stretch until that Minnesota game, and it was kind of a no-show game for him. They can't have that again because he's a guy who can give them a little bit of that, scoring punch, help out starts, take out, and Brennan Hausen, same thing. Like they need him to make shots. And he needs to be able to defend well enough to get on the court and stay on the court so he can make some shots. So I always got some players. Again, I feel like, again, listen, they're not as talented. We know that. They're not as talented as Illinois. Illinois' got talent. Illinois is figuring it out. Iowa is probably their ceiling isn't that high, but they need this one at home. I'm gonna go with Bennett Starts to find a way. I know it's not going to be easy because, like you said, Boswell's one of the most physical, toughest, experienced defenders, perimeter defenders in the entire country. I'm just, I wouldn't bet against Bennett Starks. That dude just wins. He just wins.